The parents charged today, despite already being able to give their children every legitimate advantage in the college admissions game, instead chose to corrupt and illegally manipulate the system for their benefit. We're not talking about donating a building so that a school's more likely to take your son or daughter. We're talking about deception and fraud, fake test scores, fake athletic credentials, fake photographs, bribed college officials.
The U.S. Department of Justice prosecuting what it calls the biggest college admissions scam in American history, involving prestigious schools, including the University of Texas. David Dillard does it the right way, helping families find the right schools and preparing high school students to apply for admission. Did you have any idea this was going on in your world of college admissions? Was there any hint that something like this was going on?
Not to this scale. I mean, we've known of people sending others in to take tests for them for years. That type of thing has happened. But to this level, to this degree, no.
But there were people going in and taking tests. There were apparently some private proxies who were administering SAT and ACT tests and then going back after the fact and correcting the answers. Does this raise questions about the integrity of that entire system?
I don't think so in a large scale. This is a very involved and detailed example of someone that understood the system well enough to understand where the weaknesses were. But in general, no, there's a great amount of effort that's put to the security of the tests and in the integrity of the tests. But this is more than just about tests. This is about someone that understood the entire admission process well enough to understand where the weaknesses were.
Because colleges, elite colleges, are looking for well-rounded students. They're looking for good students. They're also looking for pretty good athletes, maybe not scholarship athletes, but pretty good athletes, and that was a part of the scheme as well, allegedly. Do you have parents who come into you and say, David, I will do anything to get my kid into Harvard, Yale, Princeton, wherever?
We don't have parents that do that, but we have parents that come in and say, my child must go to this school. And what we're trying, any educational counselor of merit is trying to steer a student to their best fit, not to a particular school.
What are they looking for? What does an elite college want out of a kid other than a good SAT score?
Well, they're looking for students that can handle the rigor at their school. So test scores are a sampling of how somebody does on a particular day, and it's comparing apples to apples, anybody who's planning to apply to that institution. But they're really more interested in the academic record over time, because that is what shows a student's real ability. But beyond the academic record, they can find more students than they have slots who can meet the academic standard. Beyond that, they're looking for students that will come and contribute, that have special talents, that have special skills, that have leadership ability. And so it's not just the academics that will get a student in.
Very briefly, you said that what the parents are doing is really in the long term failing their students, because they then have to go to that elite school and perform well.
Yes. A parent who is doing this is really setting them up for failure eventually, because somewhere in life they will have to go through a hiring process, they'll have to perform on the job, unless the parent is ready to handle that for them the rest of their lives.
Mom and Dad won't be there to write a check to the boss to give them a pass on their annual review. We have a link to KD College Prep on fox4news.com. Thanks for your wisdom and advice. Thanks, David.
Thanks, Tim.